The Portuguese word saudade is so special and so deep and meaningful, it actually doesn't have an English translation. So even though there's hardly any direct flights to Lisbon, there's really no mega monuments, and you can even break an ankle on one of these cobblestones, I'm here to find out the true soul of this city through the eyes of the locals.
Lisbon is old, ancient actually, a capital carved into hills, layered in tiles, and drenched in sunlight. It's one of Europe's most beautiful cities, but also one of its trickiest. Winding alleys, crumbling sidewalks, 7 steep hills, and more postcard views than you can count. So how do you actually see the best of it without getting lost in the maze, wasting time in tourist traps, or missing the magic? We're breaking it down, neighborhood by neighborhood, what's worth it, what's not, and how to make sure you go home with stories and not regrets.
Today I'm giving you a high-level overview of all the things that you can't miss right here in Lisbon. I'm Angel Castellanos for the tour guide, and these are the top things to see and do right here.
Let's start where Lisbon began, the Alfama and Baixa. This isn't just Old Town, it is the town. Winding lanes, red roofs, tile-covered facades, and views that stop you mid-step. Start with the Sé, Lisbon's oldest cathedral that's been watching over the city since the 1100s.
The Cathedral of Lisbon, also known as the Sé de Lisboa, is much more than a religious building. It really tells the story of Lisbon. It was built shortly after the Christian conquest in 1147, and Lisbon's favorite son, Saint Anthony, was baptized right here.
From there, climb the hill to São Jorge Castle, the city's ancient stronghold, and your best shot of panoramic views over terracotta rooftops and the Tejo River. While undeniably charming and Instagram bait, the classic yellow trams are packed. Slow and prime territory for pickpockets. Smarter move, grab a tuk-tuk tour. Same narrow streets, same epic views, plus more flexibility and none of the sour legs. In Baixa, the grid layout feels completely different, thanks to a post-earthquake rebuild in the 1700s. Stand under the Rua Augusta Arch, stroll through the commercial square, and soak in the vibes of a city that reinvented itself from ruins.
This is the biggest square here in Lisbon, and it's the commercial square. It's going to be in every guidebook, every blog, every sightseeing article about Lisbon, because a former palace actually stood right here. And shooting up from this particular square are all of these avenues that were built after the 1755 earthquake. And right behind me you have the famous Augustus Gate, which is a testament to Portuguese culture, and it was actually paid for by the citizens of Lisbon. How epic is this?
Want something real? End the day in a fado house. Sad songs, strong drinks, and the kind of emotion that needs no translation.
One of the greatest musical styles in Western music is fado, and it originates here in Lisbon, and it's closely associated with the Alfama neighborhood. It's like Portuguese soul music on steroids, and the greatest singer of them all has to be Amália Rodrigues. She's so beloved by the Portuguese people, she's buried in the national pantheon. So to really understand Portugal, and especially Lisbon, you have to check out a fado performance.
Before you wrap up for the day, catch a sunset at a Miradouro. Those hilltop viewpoints are scattered across Lisbon. In the Alfama, head to Miradouro das Portas do Sol. Bring a drink, grab a bench, and watch the city glow as the sun drops over the river. It's free, it's local, and pure Lisbon. Alfama and Baixa, this is where Lisbon began. Cobbled lanes, ancient walls, grand piazzas, and trams defying gravity. It's chaotic, beautiful, and the soul of the city. We created the perfect route and plan to get you from A to Z. Check out our tours and online guidebook with curated information on maximizing your time and increasing your fun. Before we dive in, like, subscribe, and save, because we have stories to tell. This is Belem, Lisbon's age of discovery packed into one riverside neighborhood. It's where ships left to explore the New World and where monuments now mark that legacy. Start at the Jerónimos Monastery, massive, ornate, and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. This is Portugal's answer to Gothic. It's jaw-dropping. Across the street, the Monument to the Discoveries, a sculpted ship celebrating the explorers who put Portugal on every map. Head west along the river to the Belem Tower. It's a fortress, it's a lighthouse, it's a symbol. Built to protect Lisbon in the 1500s, it's now a picture-perfect postcard.
The distinctive architectural style here in Portugal is called Manueline, and it dates back from the 15th and 16th century. And when you come to Belem, you will see some of the best examples of that architecture. You have the monastery across the street and the Tower of Belem, which was built between 1515 and 1520. It's absolutely spectacular to check out in person.
Before you leave, go to the original Pastéis de Belem Bakery.
So Joanna mentioned that now she's taking me to a coffee spot where we can try the famous pastel de nata.
It's where the famous custard tarts began, and no, not all pastéis de nata are equal. On my Lisbon food tour, one of the many things we ate were these traditional custard tarts. Belem gets packed, especially on the weekends. The pro move: start early. Hit the monastery when the doors open, grab your pastéis de nata after the rush, and use the riverside path to walk or bike in between sites. It's flat, scenic, and way better than sitting in traffic. Belem is Lisbon at its most grand. Monasteries, monuments, and memories where Portugal ruled the seas. It's a mix of history, riverside calm, and custard-filled perfection.
So good.
If Alfama is Lisbon's past, Barrio Alto and Chiado are where old and new smash together. There's art, nightlife, views, ruins, it's all here. At the top you can explore Carmo Convent. Roofless since the 1755 earthquake, it's a haunting monument to Lisbon's resilience. Walk over to Mirador de São Pedro. This is your go-to sunset spot, with sweeping views over the castle and downtown. Head a few blocks into Chiado and the vibe totally shifts. More refined, more elegant. This is where Lisbon's literary giants drank, wrote, and argued. Stop at Café a Brasileira. Order a bica, which is Lisbon slang for coffee. Hungry? Go upscale at Pateo Barrio do Aviles, a massive multi-space concept by star chef Jose Aviles. Think polished takes on seafood, grilled meats, and all the Portuguese flavor you can take, with zero tourist trap energy. Want something a little bit more hidden? Toca de Raposa is a low-lit cocktail bar built around local seasonal ingredients. There's no Aperol spritzes here, just thoughtful, inventive drinks with a Lisbon flair. Small space, but big payoff. As the sun sets, cross back into Barrio Alto, the city's nightlife engine. By day, it's quiet. At night, the whole neighborhood transforms. Tiny bars into the streets, music echoes through the alleyways, and it's all powered by cheap beer and good energy. At the end of the night, you can go to Mirador de São Pedro. It's a classic viewpoint with sweeping views of the castle and the Alfama glowing across the alley. Locals bring wine, street performers play until late, and it's one of the few places the party slows down just enough to appreciate the view. Barrio Alto comes alive at night, but the streets are small and the noise is real. If you're staying nearby, definitely bring earplugs. Better yet, book your hotel in Chiado, central, elegant, and quiet once the bars close. For more on where to stay in Lisbon, check out our full curated list on Lisbon in our guidebook, comment Lisbon Guidebook below, and we'll hook you up with all the details. Remember, Barrio Alto and Chiado are all about that daytime elegance and nighttime energy. There's rooftops, there's ruins, espresso shots, and cocktails that hit like stories. This is the center of Lisbon's creative pulse. If Lisbon is sunlight and stone, Sintra is mist and magic. Just 45 minutes outside the city, and suddenly you're surrounded by a forest, fog, and palaces that look straight from a storybook. This isn't just a day trip, it's a time warp. Perched high above the town on the granite peak, Pena looks more like a surreal movie set than a royal residence. Yellow domes, red towers, Moorish arches, Renaissance touches. It's an architectural fever dream, but it's not random. It's all by design.
In the 19th century, a German Saxe-Coburg prince married into the Portuguese royal family. And just like his Bavarian cousin who built the Neuschwanstein castle, he was in love with this romantic 19th century notion of palaces and castles. So when he decided to build this particular palace, and it was finished 12 years later, it became this absolute crazy mixture of architecture. Here you have Gothic, Moorish, Renaissance, and even Portuguese Manueline styles. And this is why visiting the Pena Palace is worth the hype.
This place rewrote what royalty looked like. It wasn't about power, it was about dreams, imagination, and escaping the politics of Lisbon. Even Queen Amélie, the last queen of Portugal, called it her favorite place on earth. The walk up to Pena is steep, and that first full view is jaw-dropping. It's a kind of sight that just stops everyone mid-step. Inside, it's equally weird and wonderful. Lavish rooms, quirky details, and the views that stretch all the way to the Atlantic Ocean on a clear day. But honestly, half the magic is outside. Walk the terraces, climb the watchtowers, breathe in the cool mountain air, and listen to the wind move through the pines. Sintra isn't just a regular day trip from Lisbon. It's a full reset. Romantic, strange, and totally unique. This is Portugal's magic detour.
Well, that's it for the top things to see right here in Lisbon. I'm Angel Castellanos for the tour guy. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and smash that bell so you can find our next video. Happy travels.